Hey, it's Hobbs here with task 6 of the Yshaarj event. This one is to complete the Ursula Windfury Bounty without her attacking a single time, which is really frustrating to actually do, as there's only a few ways to actually do this task, because the only ways that you can prevent her from attacking is by using roots. And because there's only 2 mercenaries that actually have roots, there's only a few ways you can actually possibly do this. The way I ended up doing it was with nature, using Elise and Malfurion as my 2 roots within the build, though you could use orcs if you get enough treasures that actually scale up your orcs damage, where you can just one-shot her in a turn. But this worked actually pretty well in my opinion too, because you can actually scale your damage up pretty quickly if you actually manage to get Quest of the Golden Monkey off. So the basic idea of how to get up to the boss is you're going to be using Malfurion, Brukan, and Guff. And then once you're at the boss, depending on which treasures you actually have, you are going to swap either Brukan or Guff out for Elise. If you have the treasure that repeats the lightning bolt, use Brukan instead of Guff. But if you don't actually have that treasure and you just have other nature damage increasing treasures along the way, use Guff instead. I mainly say this because you can, in theory, actually just one-shot Ursula with Brukan's Chain Lightning, but this relies on you to actually bounce it back to her at least once, and that's not always the most consistent way. But if you rely on Guff instead with Living Brands, then you will be able to just one-shot it once you get the Golden Monkey up. So let's go over what equipments that I'm using. The first one being Life Root Staff for Malfurion. For Brukan, we're using Lightning Rod. For Guff, we are using Bramble Thorn Totem. And for Elise, which this is the most important equipment, you don't have to upgrade this at all, but you need this equipment, Monkey's Paw. The good news about this equipment though is it's only for getting her to level 30, which isn't the hardest thing to do. But you do need this equipment no matter how you're actually going to complete this bounty, and it's just a warning I need to give. And then for the last 2 mercenaries, Appetizers and Belinda's Lesser Water Elemental, but I didn't actually bring them in when I was actually doing this, so let's look at how I actually managed to do the boss fight. Okay, so I'm going to show off how I actually did this using Guff instead of Brukan actually in, even though I did have the better treasure to actually put in Brukan instead of Guff. We're going to be putting down Malfurion, Guff, and Elise. First turn, you're just going to root everything, and you're going to hard focus down Ursula. This is why the treasure is actually required, or the equipment for Elise is actually required, so you can actually have an AoE root on turn 1, because there's no other roots in the game that actually are available turn 1. And all freezes are always going to be slower than her first turn ability, so here we're going to root her again. We're going to use his second ability, and then we're going to use the next step of the Golden Monkey quest, just so we can actually spawn out the Golden Monkey the next turn. And then next turn, we are going to complete the Golden Monkey step. Though I should have warned you at the beginning, switch the positioning of Elise and Guff, mainly because of the fact you will have a speed tie and that could screw you over. But we did do enough damage in this case to not actually even have to rely on the Golden Monkey, but most attempts you're actually going to probably have to rely on it, which might actually be why Brukan might be a little bit better. It really just depends. It's a little bit more RNG with Brukan, but it might be safer in the end. And now the task is completed. Right, I hope this video was helpful for you to actually do this really frustrating task, and if it was, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.